What's good, YouTube? It's Butter and his own man. Today I'm back with another reaction, man. Today we got the beef that ended THF Beizou. Now, bro, so I guess this is the story about what happened, man. We just did the Lose Osama 6K reaction. He was just talking crazy, but yeah, we about to see what else is up, man. If you're new to the channel, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, the notification bell. Let's get it.
It seems like ever since Lil Durk has been locked up in the feds, his closest friends have been left out in the streets, exposed, getting shot left and right. Now the latest example apparently ending in tragedy. We got some absolutely crazy news coming out of the west side of Chicago, where Durk's right-hand man, THF Beizou, was reportedly shot and killed in a broad day ambush.
Out of Little Village, 3 men are in the hospital after a shooting. This happened around 3 this afternoon near 31st and St. Louis.
Apparently at first, reports were coming out of the city that Zhu was still alive after apparently taking multiple rifle rounds to the chest. However,
yeah, I did see they was like he not dead. Like they was posting it mad early saying he died, but he wasn't dead at the time.
Judging by the fact that this morning many of his closest friends have been posting tributes, it seems like THF Beizou is officially dead. This is coming off a well-known THF member just last year getting gunned down in an area pretty far from their home, also in the west side of Chicago. As always, this shooting has come with much speculation, but it's hard not to see the blatant gang war happening in front of our eyes between two groups that have been very vocal online. THF's apparent most vocal op, Lil Zama, has publicly implied that he's been putting belt to ass on THF after a well-documented incident of him getting his watches stolen by this gang.
2 watches got stole, about 5 lives got took. Y'all, how y'all ass went red again?
Whoa, what? See, bro, it's like I didn't even know Lil Zay had beef with them up until now.
Okay, they gonna wear, yeah, nah, this time they gonna wear black. We gonna turn their ass to red.
While bodies have been dropped on THF's side, he recently lost a friend on this ongoing gang war, which has many people believing that it is directly connected to the shooting that took out THF Beizou. It also doesn't help that in his No Jumper interview recently and on IG, he was pretty much implying that 10 bodies were dropped on him getting new watches for that whole incident. So today we got to get into the crazy gang war that could be responsible for the shooting right now. But before we get into it, I'm gonna need you to like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna get into this video right now. Hit that notification bell and make sure you tap into the merch link in the description at staysafeworld.com. And
bro, that's so crazy, bro, because bro, like the boy, what was his name? DMG Lil Deuce or something like that. That was in like 3 weeks, and then they got a face card right after. And whoever did that shooting, bro, that was mad personal, bro. If y'all seen the vid,
hit that hype button, man. We're gonna get into it right now with chapter 1. Let's beefing for years. This most recent, several gangs within the south side are known to have been beefing for years. This most recent war, though, has taken a life of its own, showing how people will literally crash out and die after threatening people on IG like it's nothing. This death is like the latest on the chain of death and violence that's been going on for months. But to even understand how things got to this point, you gotta start from the jump and understand the web of gang alliances that has people really willing to murk someone in a constant tick for tat. THF Beizou is a member of THF, aka Trigger Happy Family, a hybrid gang out of the Woodlawn area on the south side of Chicago, mainly from 46th to Woodlawn and 44th and Wells. They're mostly made up of Black Disciples and Mickey Cobras. The 46th set is predominantly BD and has strong historical ties to other sets like O Block, 600, and 300 Lamron, where he has gotten close ties and is basically the right-hand man of Lil Durk. This tight connection also extends to 600. Unfortunately, their close ties plays an extreme role in
see, I didn't know THF was clicked up with all them though.
exactly how he might have gotten murked because of an ongoing situation with another gang in the area and another artist by the name of Lil Osama. Lil Osama is also from the south side but repping 6300. However, he has close ties to Lil Durk after being signed to OTF while Lil Durk was still free. Unfortunately, there was a crazy incident that happened several years ago where his watches were stolen in a high-profile incident right before Lil Osama went to jail for a switch that many people tie directly into a beef that caused a war between both 600 and THF versus Lil Osama, which we're going to get into in this next chapter, chapter 2. There was a point when all of these sides were cool. However, everything took a turn for the worse when a video shoot apparently went wrong. Lil Zay Osama would actually go into detail in a No Jumper interview talking about an incident where he had a video shoot and invited a bunch of people from a group chat that were associated with OTF. That somehow got him associated with people from THF who pulled up. Apparently, somewhere in the night while he was sleeping, members of THF stole his watches, and that caused a whole domino effect with bodies dropping on both sides.
The situation with the watches, right?
I'm about to bring that up with your shit, right?
Yeah.
All right, so look, they be saying that some THF niggas took your shit, and then, they took one of your homies' watches and shit, and that's why you kind of fell out with OTF.
I never fell out with OTF. You get what I'm saying? This was the situation. The situation was we had an OTF chat, like where we all talking shit.
A group chat.
Yeah, where we pull up the video, each other video shoots and all this extra shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I hit the chat. I'm like, pull up to the video shoot. I'm in the rack. You feel me? Motherfucker, pull up to the video shoot. But like I'm telling you, it was niggas in this group chat outside of OTF, like these other different blocks. So 2 niggas from down there pulled up to the video shoot. I never had no problem with them, no bad vibes with them. So you know they come to the video shoot, we kicking it. Video shoot over, I leave. I go to my hotel room. Mind you, I get off the liquor, I'm drunk as now. You feel me? I'm in the hotel room, I go in the room, I fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? Every night I take my watches off before I take my chains off. You feel what I'm saying? Cause I always take my watches off and put it on the table because I be sleeping like this, or I use my hands to sleep. You feel me? So I took my watches off, both of them, and put them on the front room table. You feel me? I wake up the next morning, bro, like 7 in the morning, bro. My shit gone, you hear me? Now, I'm thinking back on last night. They came in the room and waked me up. Cause we was buying something from them too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So bro, I get them the money for the shit while I'm kinda like sleep, you know what I'm saying? I get them the money and I fall back to sleep. I wake up, the shit gone from in the front room off the table. I'm flipping the whole room. Trying to see where everything at. Mind you, my cameraman was here and my homie was here.
Yeah.
You feel me? But them niggas was so slick. Bro them didn't even see them take it off the table. You get what I'm saying? Bro them probably thinking I still got my watches on or something. So now I'm calling these niggas. They merching on every dead homie in the book that they didn't take it, they didn't got it, they don't know what I'm talking about. I need to check my homies. They probably still, I said, bro, none of my homies would ever play with me, bro. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Ever. You know, so now these niggas telling Smirk and them like, on woo, we ain't got a merchant on all they dead homies. You know what I'm saying? When you merch on your dead homies, you gotta be for real.
So directly after this interview, he would basically go on live multiple
people really will lie on anything, bro. I don't believe nothing.
times talking about how bodies were dropped after this incident, and he would actually go on live with his homie, which we're gonna talk about later, Lil Deuce, saying that they were paint any person red that had to do with this whole incident.
Y'all ass wearing red again.
Fuck it, they gonna wear, yeah, nah, this time they gonna wear black, we gonna turn their ass to red.
Today it's a new nigga outside coming out of snitch. So what that make y'all? The rest of you is snitches too. You hear me? Facts. I'm out the way. Making music, getting money, just signed my new deal. But look though, this was before the deal. I swear to God.
Hold on, I've seen in the comments they try to say Zoo is a rat.
Making music, getting money, just signed my new deal.
Look right here.
But look though,
That's
this was before the deal. I swear to God. 2 watches got stole. About 5 lives got took.
Well, unfortunately, there would be multiple bodies that many people now realize could have been exactly connected to this whole incident, and we're gonna get into it into the next chapter because there would be some crazy high-profile incidents and killings on both sides. Let's get into it in chapter 3. In 2024, a tragic video would go viral of another THF member named THFTP getting gunned down in front of his wife and daughter, also in the west side of Chicago. On the night of Wednesday, February 7, 2024, at approximately 6:41 p.m., Chicago PD would swiftly respond to a ShotSpotter alert and distress calls reporting a person shot at the intersection of Madison and Long on the west side. Upon arrival, law enforcement discovered Terrence, aka 30-year-old Chicago rapper THF TP, lying on the ground, having sustained at least 7 gunshot wounds to the torso. Urgently, he was transported to Loyola Hospital, where medical efforts proved futile and he was pronounced deceased. Since then, video footage basically came out of people pulling up to him while he was holding his daughter's school project, and he was unfortunately switched down in a crazy incident.
Bro, that's
well,
crazy.
Just later in the timeline, Lil Zay Osama would be talking about bodies that dropped for his watches. People would look back at that incident and think that he had something to do with it. Although it looked like they were definitely putting BTA on a bunch of people associated with those who stole his watches, retaliation would come back in the form of a shooting literally just a couple weeks ago with his homie, which has many people thinking that Lil Zay Osama was sacrificing his own members, you see, because Lil Zay Osama is not in Chicago right now. He's in LA, but other people who are around him are the ones that are unfortunately going to get caught up in this gang violence. And that's exactly what people thought when the shooting of DMG Lil Deuce. If you don't know, DMG Lil Deuce was the homie that he was on live with, saying that they were gonna paint the city red. Unfortunately, he was gunned down in a separate incident just a couple weeks ago that we actually covered on this channel, which is the latest retaliation. And that has many people believing that it could resulted in the incident that happened just yesterday, which we're gonna get into in chapter 4. Let's get into it.
Dang, they was sliding, bro. This don't cracking.
Little village. 3 men are in the hospital after a shooting. This happened around 3 this afternoon near 31st and St. Louis. Police say those victims were standing in a parking lot when a car drove up and someone inside started firing. One of the men was taken to the hospital in critical condition. The other 2 are expected to survive. So far, no one is in custody.
Apparently, rumors are going around yesterday that THF Beizou pulled up to the west side to an auto store to do some car repair. 3 men were in the parking lot at about 3 p.m. Saturday in the 3100 block of South St. Louis Avenue, one of which was him, when someone in a car pulled up and an occupant fired shots, police said. 1 man was in critical condition, that was THF Beizou, and apparently he died. The other 2 men are apparently in stable condition. The 35-year-old man, aka THF Beizou, was shot multiple times in the torso and taken in critical condition to Mount Sinai Hospital. There were reports that shells behind left evidence of rifle rounds, which many people showed that was not a good sign. And
bro, that was so personal, bro. They want him out of here, bro.
Fortunately, it looks like it was a terrible sign because he was not able to make it, with many condolences posters basically being put out. Man, this is a very sad scenario, and it kind of reminds me exactly of the THF TP situation, because it's in an area that isn't in the South Side. So I guess people think that it's all good to just be out and about because they don't have beef. But if you're anywhere within the city of Chicago right now and you're associated with these people, or really in any gang, your head is literally has money on it, and you have to be careful at every single moment. And those moments that you are just loafing, just trying to fix your car and stuff like that, someone could just drive by and be like ready to just take you out. It's a very unfortunate situation. He's leaving behind a kid and a wife and stuff like that. But it just shows if you're even associated, the only people that are still around right now that are still like, 600 members and posted up, or just members that were in the original drill scene, are all like out of the city. Everyone else is either dead or in jail. Or just look at Dirk. He was out of the city and is currently in jail. And ever since that he's been in jail, it seems like everyone around him has slowly either been caught up in the system or gotten gunned down too, man. But hey, let me know in the comments what y'all think about the situation. Real stay safe shit. You already know what's going on. Like, comment, subscribe, man.
Yeah, though, man. That was the beef that ended THF Beizou, man. I ain't gonna lie. That was a crazy little Rapumentary, because I ain't gonna lie. I didn't expect him to catch him, bro. I didn't. But yeah, if you enjoyed that, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, that notification bell. Let me know what you want to see next. And it's crazy, bro, that people really just dying over jewelry, bro, over stones at the end of the day. But yeah, it's better. I'm gonna catch on next one. I'm out.
Chains in these watches, boy, we real iron hands out the window, bam, 10 and a pair of Nikes. Bustin' balls, I'm in Cali every week with it. Brody, what I told you about.